Hello and welcome to It Was a Movie. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
This is the movie Threads from 1984. Runs for 112 minutes. Director Mick Jackson. Every time I see his name, I think it's Michael Jackson, but it's not.
No, that'd be weird.
That would be weird. He directed The Bodyguard, which is something.
It is something.
Yeah. The writer is Barry Hines. We used to know Barry Hines.
Yeah, I didn't know he was this fucking depressing.
He wrote Kes, that folk and kestrel, obviously Kes for kestrel. He wrote that. We were made to watch Kes a lot in school, I think.
Kes.
Yeah. Budget 400,000. I read that it only was a 17-day shoot, which is quite impressive.
Very impressive, considering the amount of... It does feel a bit cheap at times, but I don't think that detracts from it all that much.
No, I didn't see any sort of cheapness to it. I was very impressed by the charred corpses. Let's put it that way.
That scene, that goes on for a while. And
yeah.
I love that it's like, oh, it's over now. Oh, that was pretty bad, but not... Oh, God!
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes on for ages, and it's... Oh, we can talk about it in a bit, but damn.
Yeah, it was a made-for-TV movie. I think it aired on BBC Two, and somebody described it as the night that the UK didn't sleep, or something like that.
That would discourage. And I imagine that this was in the height of the Cold War, so I would imagine pretty much everybody in the UK actually watched this.
And actually, it was a movie that made me think about just the mundane aspect of survival after a nuclear holocaust. It has to be said, we'll break the fourth wall here, but we're filming this only about 9 days before this will be published. And yesterday, 2 countries invaded another country, and everybody's bombing each other. And this movie is quite apt.
Yeah, and the word nuclear has been mentioned multiple times about some of these countries. So, yeah.
It was, and one of the countries is mentioned a lot in this movie.
Kind of sets up the whole thing, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, along with another big country over there that feckin' invades lots of other countries.
Oh God!
It's
so this was a documentary of something that might or probably will happen.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Get your survival kits out of the crawl space.
Iodine tablets for the whole family.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a movie that made me think, actually, and it's a good movie for making you think about.
I didn't like having to think these things.
No, we can go to work and earn money and come home and sleep and get up and do the same shit over again. But then if the bombs drop, we don't have any more work.
Gone, baby. Yeah, there might not be any life, but you won't have to work.
I like the way that it just goes into the intricacies of what breaks down after everything is blown to pieces. I've seen lots of post-apocalyptic movies, but this sort of got into the sort of nitty-gritty. Yeah.
There is one thing I'll say about the stats and its approach here is I've watched a lot of documentaries about this type of crap because I'm a science nerd. This is the most darkest. This is if everything goes to shit real quick. If the individuals who are dropping the bombs decide that they want the bombs to hit the ground and just kick up the earth and cause all the fallout, whereas it's not as effective as blowing down buildings and taking out armies, but it is more effective at destroying a civilization. So depends on the motivation of the person. You'd have to be a right sick individual, though, if you wanted, right, this bomb's going to take out their army, and I'm going to make sure that humanity's kind of boned.
Yeah, it made me think a lot today about reality of war and what will happen next week.
What is it good for, eh?
Absolutely nothing.
When
I was watching the first half of the movie it kind of sets the tone and gives us a backbone.
Most kids come from a Ford Cortina in 1980s England.
I think also it's just a lot of mundane life, daily life, and
down to pub. Oh yeah, go to pub.
You know what I wrote down when I was going through it? This is a nuclear Coronation Street at the first half of the movie. It's just perfect. There's an unexpected pregnancy. There's parents of the boyfriend girlfriend meeting each other.
Yep, LeChuck. Can't be getting all up to duff. There's a recession.
I actually like Ruth's dad because he doesn't talk at the start, and he's looking up some just mundane stuff. I appreciated and respected his approach to things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So basically the premise of the movie is that you have half the movie where it's just real life people just going about stuff, but an escalating tension in the background with constant radio and TV noise coming through.
It's excellent. It kind of it's a good pacing thing. Like, you've got the mundane crap, as you say, but back of your head, you're listening to this stuff and the anxiety is going up because obviously you know what this movie's about. So it's setting the scene and everybody's living their lives. Meanwhile, the world's about to just pop.
Yeah, it's constant noise in the background, which sort of like a Christopher Nolan sort of movie, just sort of amps up the pressure a little bit, like Dunkirk, the
yeah
constant thing. Interestingly enough, weirdly enough, we have a connection to a movie we will watch next week. The narration person is the same narration for the Irish movie we will watch next week. Paul Vaughan does the narration of the sort of... It's an interesting thing, like halfway through, and I think it was a bone of contention between Barry Hines and Michael Jackson, Mick Jackson, that the narration that pops up, not at the start, but during the movie, because it goes, and 5 days after the nuclear fallout, the politicians say to keep the food to themselves or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And it comes in a little bit. And I was like, does that work? I'm not sure if it works or not. Barry Hines didn't like it. I
agree with Barry as well, but it's not terrible.
No. It's a bit...
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't fit the tone, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think the whole movie is sort of framed as a docudrama because you'll constantly have this nuclear plus 5 days, attack plus 10 days.
I like the coldness of some parts of it, like the cold facts that just getting punched up on screen. I love that. So you have the relationships and the scenes and the drama, and then just cold facts just punched in your groin, and it's nice. It's a nice sort of overlay of two different things. You feel for the characters. You get, you kind of want, say, like the likes of what was her name, Ruth to succeed, because she kind of becomes the central character through this. She doesn't feel like it at the start, but she's definitely central in this because she's the one we followed the longest.
For sure.
So it's the coldness of that piece with the drama of her life. It's quite a nice juxtaposition.
I also think that the coldness that you just mentioned there is also very much apparent in the death of nearly all the main characters that you're introduced to.
It's grim.
So they just die.
And that's it. But I absolutely love that, in that nobody has the chance to grieve. Like when their kid dies, they're like, just said, I wish I was dead. But then they have a choice. Well, I need to get water because I'm going to die of thirst pretty soon. So that's it. And they move on. And it's the same for every character because they're all facing imminent death at every point, at every junction. And regardless of who just keeled over, they're like, that's crap. Right, off we go.
Yeah. It's delightfully, which if I could use delightfully as to describe this movie, but it's very well handled. I think we'll talk about the minute the bomb hits and how they manage that in a few minutes. But yeah, that's just the first sort of, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes of the movie is pretty much just the general gradual ramp up to panic happening with the increase of the news and supermarket buying, but then you still have the Ruth and Jimmy issue, and Jimmy and his buddy going ham in the pub, down the pub with the ales.
Oh, look at you, pot tasty boards and cool, no?
Yeah, and so Jimmy's a twat because
Jimmy's a twat. He's an average idiot.
Yeah, and then like it's just basically well executed the way it's just ramping up to the mundane, or from the mundane domestic stuff to the
I'm going to jump ahead
war.
and we can come back in a second. But I love how useless and pointless Jimmy is in that when the bad thing happens and the two lads are hiding on the van, he goes, "Oh, I'm go off to see Ruth. I'll go find where she is." Never see him again.
No.
That's it. Eh.
Yeah.
And I love that.
That's interesting. And then we sort of have this whole sort of mundanity of this guy that, I don't know if he's the mayor of Sheffield or some sort of business owner or whatever. He basically is the fallout.
Bureaucrat.
Yeah, something. He's basically the director of the post-nuclear response team. And so he has to go and, as the news comes up, down the bunker. As the news ramps up, basically he has to go, and like there's he brings a photograph of his wife, and he obviously loves her and stuff, but he's on the phone and he just goes, "Yeah, time to go." No hug, no. It's all very 80s.
Cheerio, love. Sure, it's probably nothing. Stiff upper lip.
Yeah. So
down to bunker. Cheerio, love.
What does the threads relate to in the movie title?
I'd never even considered that. There are multiple threads running through this, storylines, but I'm guessing you've got an answer to that I do not in front of me.
I don't really, but I was thinking, well, at the end, they're unthreading blankets. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you have the spider at the start with his web being threaded together.
I think isn't there a phrase like, when the threads of society fall apart, then we're fucked or something? Is that like the threads of society is a phrase to use, right?
Yes.
Right. So there you go.
We'll go with that.
It's all the threads that hold everything together, and yeah.
You pull at one of them and the whole thing falls apart. Unfortunately, this is far more than just pulling at one thread. This is pulling all the damn threads.
This is end of world stuff, basically.
Logistics, this is communications, this is everything that keeps society, as it's the size it is now, together. You start pulling those away and everything just falls flat in its face. And it does fast.
People make fun of doomsday preppers.
Not after watching this, you won't.
Or for looking at the news.
Yeah, so that's why I've got 25 kilos of toilet roll in my attic.
No, I need canned foods. That's what I need. And bottles of water.
Yeah.
The country where I live right now has basically, within the last year, like sent out a brochure of what you should keep in your home.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Send me a copy of that.
Wind up radio, batteries, flashlight, 4 liters of water, I think, or something like that. They're very specific.
Or that's an unusual.
Well, maybe
doesn't seem like it'll keep it going very long.
No. Well, you don't give any to your kids.
Yeah.
Well enough.
I have most of those things apart from the wind up radio.
Yeah, but then everything's chucked down anyway. All the wireless. Well, no, they do get the wireless radios working.
Yeah, that was one thing I found confusing was the EM pulse thing. Like, I'm not sure I agree with the science behind that. I'll let that go though.
So yeah, as we said, it's mundane leading up to this attack, and then the attack happens. How do you? Like, we got air raid warnings, and then you get some hits and some destruction of things, but then it's
small. It's really small. It feels small.
And then the white screen happens.
Oh, it's beautifully done. It all sound stops. Because it was quite bad. Like, stuff happens, windows smash in, and everybody's panicking, running around. But doesn't seem like anybody's been killed yet. But yeah, as you say, the white flash happens, the heat flash. This is the second bomb, so there must have been 2 bombs dropped in Sheffield, or the proximity of Sheffield, so one further away and one on Sheffield.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the airbase outside of Sheffield was hit, and then Sheffield's major industries were hit then directly after. It's wonderfully done. And I love the delay between the heat flash that travels at the speed of light and the sound, not the sound wave, but the force wave that travels at the speed of sound directly after and a few seconds later. Because I think it's Jimmy's mum is upstairs in the house. When that happens, she gets melted in one side of the face. Yeah. But that scene is just great. It just goes quiet. Actually, before that bit, Jimmy's dad was on the jacks for the first bomb. Fucking hell.
Hey, up.
The only chuckle I had in this movie was that scene. That made me chuckle a lot. But then that chuckle was wiped off my face a few seconds later. Whereas Ma gets it in the face.
Then during all this sort of stuff, you see their son. I think it's Michael. His name is Dan with the little birds, Jimmy's birds,
his farm birds.
Yeah, and okay, that happens, and this big bomb goes off, and then they go outside to look for him, and you just see his mangled leg sticking out of the rubble.
So grim. But it's like days later, though, or not days later, but a considerable amount of time has passed. It's not 10 minutes.
No.
But they're kind of mangled. The pair of them are mangled. Like she gets a bunch of gamma rays in the face, so she's dead.
That's
doesn't know it yet, but she's dead. She's vomiting in the corner. He's not great either. He's not as bad as she is. He goes a few more days than she does. But yeah, they spend, I don't know, maybe a day or two lying in the corner of a room vomiting.
Yeah,
which is grim. And there's blood on the floor and there's vomit everywhere. She asks them to go get water, and oh my God.
Well, then you also have Ruth's parents and her grandmother in the basement.
They're in much better condition. Way better condition.
That's because her dad is a better person.
That's it, how it goes, yeah. They're in the basement. They've got food, they've got water, they've got pretty much everything they need. Doesn't keep them alive, though.
No.
Well, we can talk about that in a second. It gets...
Well...
How does because early enough the granny dies.
Yeah, just of old age.
Yeah, that's my guess. Like,
she was not
radiation in a bunker should be almost zero.
Yeah, I think
you're in the ground. You're not getting any radiation unless she's gone outside to lick some dust.
Fallout dust. No, I think she was like really stressed and stuff. And
which is fair enough.
She had that little accident as well, so maybe she's just lost all her faculties. Although, having said that as well, Ruth is a bit dodgy too. She's like feeling horrible. She's like mentally and physically.
But she is up to duff as well.
She's preggers, yeah.
Yes. She's all right. So that's one part I kind of like in this, is that she's pregnant. She's got a kid. She's getting sick. And then you've got the question in your head, is she getting sick because of A or B? Is it morning sickness or is it a whole heap of rads? Don't know yet.
Science. Did you read the science behind this and how she survived? Because basically at some point they go upstairs and dragging Granny up the stairs. Why am I laughing? I don't know. Then Ruth just fucks off out the back door and the parents go, Ruth! And then they just go back down to the basement. They don't even chase her.
Yeah, I think I know the science behind this. This is that the child absorbs a bunch of the radiation instead of her, yes. Which is grim.
But it's said that the baby then would be quite mutiny, but Jane,
the child doesn't seem...
No.
I can't remember what her name was. I don't think she even says
Jane.
it.
But I think it's Jane.
She doesn't really... seem to be in any bad way.
No.
She's lacking education.
Yes, and that's another good aspect of as we go forward a lot in time to language, we just don't even know what they're saying because it's just, there's no education anymore.
Give it.
Yeah. Some sort of Yorkshire dialect, and
that's how Yorkshire people sound to me anyway.
Yeah, the word for rabbit is quite close to the Irish word for rabbit, like conine or something.
That's what I heard as well, yeah.
Yeah. But as the bombs go off and everything, you get a lot of quick flash throughs of just scenes of dead cats and charred corpses,
coming off fingers, and
the milkman's van is crashed.
Mustard's toast, maybe.
Yeah, because
got him early in the morning.
Even when people were being evacuated and legging it, he was delivering milk every morning, which was nice of him.
Stuck by his role, goes down with his milk float.
Yeah. Doesn't go above 10 or whatever that is.
4 miles an hour.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't know what happens to Jimmy. He's obviously dead. So the aftermath, sort of, then the movie is sort of segmented. It goes, okay, this little bit happens. Nuclear attack plus 10 days, plus a month, plus 3 months, plus 6 months. So you're constantly getting a very good sort of storyline of what the hell will happen after nuclear fallout. So you get food shortages, you get corpses being collected, you get the martial law type situation, and you get obviously people just vomiting and then dying in the fields trying to harvest grains and stuff.
I like there's a segment downstairs in the command bunker in Sheffield.
Yeah, let's talk about the command bunker.
I love the bit where they're trying to decide who gets food up above because, we won't have enough food, and there's no point giving food to people in the immediate area of the blast because they're dead anyway.
Mm.
And it is the type of maths you would be, type of questions you'd be answering up down there. You'd have to making those decisions, and it's grim. I think one of the guys gets annoyed at him for saying it, and he said, "What are you going to do? We could give those guys the food, but then the people outside that radius will die of starvation."
It's interesting because you have all this chaos and death and destruction up above, but then in this bunker, it's all politics bullshit.
Yeah.
Bureaucracy. I thought the guy with the black beard was the dungeon master for Nightmare.
No, I didn't get that. Was it? No.
Because I think he was from the Yorkshire area, but I looked it up, but it's not. It wasn't him. I'm very disappointed.
That would have been cool.
Anyway, a bunch of these guys, and maybe I think there's two ladies down there. They're not portrayed as incompetent, but it's like, what the hell are they supposed to do? They don't know.
They've no control. They can't control anybody up above. They've no real communications up above.
No.
And
they're trying to get people to rescue them.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen yet.
It does. Too late.
Yeah, but people up above are trying to, for the most part, are just trying to stay alive. Like they've no resources. Roads are all gone. Can't get vehicles. Any useful building is full of people who have been evacuated from the radiated areas. What do you do? And people are fighting over food and fuel.
Well, that's what happens to Ruth's parents. Like, we don't see it happening, but the lads come up from the basement and they have their food with them. So it's like, okay,
they just kill them. Of prawn-flavored crisps.
Oh, yeah. So that's the aspect of the post-nuclear war world, is that the army will go around and shoot you in the back if you're stealing stuff from people's houses. But like, what are you supposed to do? Wait for distribution? Well,
it's probably, they kind of deserved it in that they went downstairs and killed people.
Yeah, but soldiers didn't know that.
Looting makes sense because not being dead is probably preferable to being dead from starvation.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
So looting in that sense makes sense. And especially if you think a house is empty, you should go in and just take all the stuff. In my head, I've played enough computer games. That's what you do.
Have you played Fallout?
I've played the crap out of Fallout, yes. Many versions of it.
I've not played it.
Big fan of it.
Which one should I play for my first playthrough?
Fallout New Vegas, although it might be a bit old now. Great game.
They're all old, right?
Fallout 4 probably might be a better starting point, though it's more modern. They're great games, though. I love them all.
I need to get into it. So I think then that's probably pretty much we're talking about days and weeks after the bombs are dropped. And then if you go into months to 1 year afterwards, you're talking about the crops failing. Sort of people are working the fields as well.
Manual labor is a big thing because they've run out of fuel, because obviously you can't in the UK make your own fuel unless you want to swim out to the North Sea oil rigs, which it's not going to happen.
Might be a better ending for you. Better than living in a wasteland.
And
it's also the public executions and stuff like that. Yeah. Starvation. Then, it's just
people getting shot for trying to steal people's food. Fair enough. This is going to happen. This is the end of civilization.
So are you thinking, like, looking at that society will never recover from this?
No society will recover from it in my head. It doesn't recover in a generation. It doesn't recover in 2 generations. It recovers in 4 or 5 generations in my head.
But if all the clever scientists and engineers are all dead, how people can't educate themselves anymore? Although they did get the TV to work and play a VCR, so maybe they'll get the internet back up and running.
I don't think that all of humanity's knowledge will be lost. It's quite well documented. You'd have hardened bunkers with stuff all around the planet. In Carta, yes, 95.
Actually, yeah, the internet wasn't around in 84.
No, it was not. But you'd have the...
It's probably best.
Encyclopedias kicking around the place. So the information is there. Not everything is burnt down. And this is set in Sheffield, based in Sheffield. We don't see the rest of the UK. You don't see Ireland, for that matter. In my head, Ireland isn't touched because we don't have nukes. So we're grand. We just look across the pond and go, oh, Jesus.
We'd get the fallout, though.
We would not. I Googled this because it's one of the first things I checked.
What the hell?
The wind goes, prevailing wind from Ireland is southwest. Yes.
Wow.
Everybody else is dead. We're grand. Europe's screwed.
No.
You're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like cloud coverage and shit like they were saying in this. Like it stays dark for
that's a global thing.
Weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I would say that the nuclear winter envisioned in this is the extreme worst case. In all probability, I'd say it's more of a year at most type thing.
The Jimmy's sister, who we see a couple of times delivering papers and stuff, she like disappears, but then I think I saw her face at the
You do see her face somewhere. Yeah, but it's brief.
Yeah, it's like, but it's another good way of handling a character that we see a lot of, but then she's just another starving face.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a wonderful definition of what people become, though. It's just another statistic. It's grim.
Yeah, it's bloody grim. Yeah, and I think it's just handled so well. And he had made a documentary before this about post-nuclear fallout, so this movie is just a dramatization of the steps that happen, basically. As I was watching it, going, yeah, this is just sort of nicely laid out into the horrendousness of what's going to happen. Yeah. So Ruth gives birth, and that's
horrible.
Yeah,
the dog barking in the background, and it's a great scene. She's by herself in a shed, effectively, and in the back of my mind is what we were just talking about earlier, is, the radiation is obviously going to go into the child. So the child is going to be either stillborn or deformed or, messed up in some fashion because the radiation's got to.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear that way at all.
No, it's weird. I don't know what to think about that. Like, basically, the end of the movie is pretty much just Ruth and following what happens in the 20 years or
she's
15
around for
or something.
13 years before she keels over.
Yeah.
So the kid's 13-ish.
13. Yeah, so like we do see her.
Sorry, she's 10 when Ruth dies. Wrote it down.
Oh, okay.
She's 10. That's when she's watching our VHS video.
Yeah, they're watching some sort of crappy TV show or children's TV show. But the way that Ruth's death is managed too is just another cold, harsh reality, because obviously Jane is her daughter. She sees that she's dead and she just walks out. It's like, takes her stuff,
leaves the board about books, the foreign birds behind, because she's not attached to it. She's quite pragmatic at this point because everybody's just about survival.
Yeah, so. And like you can see from Jane's life, it's just like, she's on her own and she's being attacked and talking in random fragmented speech, and she gets assaulted and obviously is pregnant then, and that final scene just makes us leave the movie on the worst possible
grim, and it's an incredibly accurate depiction of what more than likely would happen with that much exposure to radiation. In all reality, she's probably actually healthier for having had the kid, because it would have actually cleaned some of the radiation out of her. But it's grim.
Yeah, basically it's the movie, horrible. On a technical note, she gives birth and looks at the baby and does a wordless scream, and then it just freeze frames on that because we're led to believe that the baby is mutant.
The baby's definitely dead. Yeah.
Or dead or a mutant.
No, there's
or
no
both.
sound. There's no sound. Kids aren't quiet when they come out.
Mm.
So,
well, they might not have a mouth.
Yeah, that's probably worse than being dead. Yeah, it's not a nice ending, and it's an incredibly accurate ending. I love that there is no Hollywood ending to this. I love that the main characters are just people. There's nothing heroic about them in any fashion. They're just trying not to be dead. So, like, Jimmy's useless, which I love. You know, he feels very typical of 1980s lad down the pub.
Yeah.
It's well depicted. His dad is well depicted. I think all the characters are very believable.
Yeah,
well
I like the fact that it's not Hollywood in any way. If America did this, they would probably make it to be Armageddon or something.
As I might have said before when we talked about this, but Sheffield already in the 80s was bloody depressing.
Yeah, I'm sure they watched it in Sheffield and went, oh, at least it's not as bad as that.
Yeah, can get worse. No matter how bad your scenario is, it can always get worse.
I just appreciate the way it handles the whole process. I got educated from it. It made me think about how society would break down, and I didn't even realize. I was like, when she was getting attacked for the rabbit from those two boys, I was like, what the hell are they saying? Oh, okay, they don't speak English anymore.
Yeah, it's some sort of broken English.
Yeah.
And that to me feels right. You know, you haven't gone to school. You might not even have been brought up by parents. You might have just been 4 or 5 when the thing happened and had to fend for yourself. So, you know, it kind of makes sense.
I think it's sort of weirdly enough, like obviously we watched Doctor Strangelove a while back. It's sort of in the same sort of ballpark, but in a different sport. You know, it deals with the same thing. But
what I like about both movies is they don't sugarcoat.
No.
This is the grim reality of a thermonuclear war. Nobody bloody wins. I would imagine Sheffield's not that different from Europe and the Soviet Union, the USA. I would imagine everywhere is just as melted as Sheffield.
Yeah.
That's my take on this. It never actually tells you what the rest of the world is like.
No, we don't. It's a very defined geographical zone we're kind of stuck into as the movie watchers.
Which I love. Because first thing to break down was communications. So they're not going to know. And just there's no doom scrolling in this future.
It's kind of like 28 Days Later in a sense, that the UK is just this isolated viral cesspit. Actually, I think the actress that played Ruth played a little like bystander role in 28 Years Later, the worst of the movies. I saw her on our IMDb page. I was trying to see if anybody had done anything, but nobody has really done anything. Yeah, so it's bloody grim and educational.
It's informative, depressing. I don't know if I would necessarily advise people to watch it. I guess I would.
I probably would in this day and age.
Yeah, it's probably useful information. That said, with this information, what can you do other than go, shit?
But that's exactly how I felt when watching it. I was like, oh, if this happens, we're fucked.
Yeah, and even the people who had prepared a little bit, like Ruth's parents, they still end up getting beaten to death. So,
like, you need a bunker, you need weapons, you need a lot of food. You need to be
prepping
John
for
Goodman.
a zombie apocalypse.
You need to be John Goodman on Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah. Everybody, that's our advice after watching this movie. Everybody needs to be John Goodman from Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah. Not the whole murdering ladies bit. There's one scene that I just took note of when I was watching it because I thought it was technically excellent. When Jim's dad bends down to get some rusty water. There's just a charred head in the background. It's not the focus.
Yeah,
it's not the focus at all. It's just there. It's not even, I don't think it's even technically in focus, but it's just there, and you just go, oh shit.
Yeah, like, it's great. And the fact he's drinking water, again, that water ain't good. Everything about that scene is horrible.
Yeah.
And that I did notice that as well. And that just adds to the flavor. And there's like fingers sticking out of rubble and there's dead cats.
There's dead cats, dead dog.
Yeah.
They did show when the bombs started going for. Yeah, there was a scene where a cat was rolling on the ground. You're like going, that cat's just having fun. He's not injured.
Yeah. He was playing with a ball of string or something.
It's just something, just hepped up on catnip.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a movie that I would recommend watching. It's can I say that it's enjoyable? Probably not. It's
very, very far from enjoyable.
Certainly engrossing. I might say engrossing.
Yes.
Emphasis on gross.
And like a good movie, I don't know if you've said this before, but I've thought this before, but a movie that sticks with you for multiple days and keeps repeating on you, like this movie does.
Repeating on you, movie. Yeah. Like an apocalyptic burger that keeps repeating on you.
Every now and then you burp some radioactive.
There's no Rennies in the world. Plot storyline.
That's gonna be high for my head.
So like it's broken into soap opera like mundanity at the start, bomb, post bomb,
standard Coronation
Street arc
episode.
There's
nuclear bomb.
There's no heroes. There's no protagonists.
No.
Ruth doesn't do anything spectacular, but we focus on her a lot in the end.
She tries not to die, and she succeeds quite well for a bit.
Yeah. The plot uses time jumps to tell us the progression of shit. And I think it's done well. I'll give it 4.
I'm going to join you on the 4. I know we try to steer clear of documentaries, but this really is more a drama documentary mashup, and it's not a documentary. It's more of a what if umentary, and it's profoundly hitting as well, and it's well paced, and everything in it just fits. You would think that sticking a nuclear war documentary on top of an episode of Coronation Street would be a terrible thing to do. It sounds stupid. It's brilliant. So it's excellent. It deserves the 4.
Stop banging the table for emphasis.
Sorry. Didn't know that came through the mic. Boom.
Fucking post-apocalyptic bullshit. But yeah, like connected to that, though, the acting is documentary. Like it's not really, there's no real oration of lines like, oh, Ruth, what did you do that for? It was most just very conversational. Like, so I think they don't really deliver big performances, but it's done well. Who would stand out to you, though? Who would stand out to you as a good example of acting, though?
I kind of like Jimmy's uselessness. Something very real about how it's portrayed. I actually kind of like Jimmy's dad. I like his arc in that he's not a good man at the end of it. He's just shouting for food and just keels over. I don't know. I almost think the acting's kind of irrelevant.
It is irrelevant, yeah. But I'll give it 3 because it's... No, I'll give it 3.5. Sorry, that just gives that's a 3 is a bit low for what they actually do with their performances. They're understated, but they're powerful.
They are. I'm going to stick with 3. It's better than the sum of its parts. This thing, but the acting is good.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to sound brackets track, we're just talking about sound here. There is no soundtrack, but the sound is excellently mastered.
It is.
Especially during the nuclear strike.
I love the silence. The silence is so well placed.
Yeah. The narration choice comes in and it sort of like gets it a little bit clinical, sterile sort of thing, educational sort of movie.
Yeah.
Adding a little bit more context to what's happening. Fine.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a 3 for this. I'm not seeing anything else to give it. Like it's bang on what it hits, and the silent bit is, I don't know if I'd call that a music choice, it's more of a production choice. So
yeah,
it's okay. It's good.
Yeah. And the director, as we said, we've got the pseudo documentary style, Sheffield setting, degradation of the world. I think it's done well with the budget that they had. I think he made amazing choices through this. So I'll pop it up to a 4 again.
I'm going to give it a 4.25. I think he did nothing but make good choices in this. Like it's incredibly impactful for what he was working with. An unknown cast, about £12 and 17 days, you said. It's quite impressive what he managed to achieve.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he purposely went and just hired local people just to give it that.
Actually helps, I think.
Yeah.
Helps with the mundanity of it all.
Yeah. Not a lot of reviews on Metacritic, just 5. Sean O'Neill in the AB Club gave it 80. Nuclear war is brutal, ugly, and piss yourself terrifying. Threads argues, why should its movie depiction be anything different?
Bang on.
Sam Toy and Empire gave it 100. Horrifying, moving, and powerful. Watch it by yourself late at night and never sleep again. Not a good date movie.
Yeah, it would not be a great date movie.
No. I don't see Roger Ebert doing anything about it here. I'm sure there's some fun reviews on Letterboxd, but I didn't dive into them. So recommended, but harrowing watch. But if you want to get educated about what will happen to society after a nuclear strike, then bloody watch it.
If you're in too good of a mood and you want to bring yourself back down to reality, this will do exactly that.
There's dead cats and dogs.
That's all you need to know. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. All right, if you haven't liked us on, subscribe to us on the platform you're listening to us on or watching us on, please do so now, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.